Hello, Internet. This is Zed with ZX's Gaming, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Guides, Tips, and Tricks. Today we're going to be going over how you get a second class on your character. So, in order to get a second class, you must be level 10. You need to meet two requirements. You must be level 10, and you must have finished your level 10 class quest. Now on Zalcan here, say hello, Zalcan. There you go. He is level 18, so he's over level 10, and he has finished his level 10 class quest. He's currently working on his level 15 class quest as of this video. So he now has opened up the ability to get additional classes. So first of all, if you hit C and pull up the character pane, what am I talking about? Final Fantasy allows you to play every class in the game on one character. It's kind of their way of basically pushing the idea that you don't need alts if you don't want them. Now, some people do have alts, multiple characters, and there are reasons to have multiple characters, but you don't need to. You can play all of the tank classes, all of the healer classes, all of the, every class in the game. And Final Fantasy also treats the professions, carpenter, blacksmith, armorer, the crafting professions, and the gathering professions of miner, botanist, and fisher as classes. So, why would you want additional classes? Well, the professions pretty much speak for themselves. If you want to do these professions, you're going to go get them. As far as classes go, depending on what expansion you're in, there's a lot of XP available, so there's no reason to just stick to one class. It's very easy to level multiple classes. You end up, if you play just one class all the way through A Realm Reborn and you've got any of the little extra items, like I have these special earrings that came as the result of buying, the deluxe game version. These increase XP by 30%. You have more XP than you know what to do with, so it's very easy to level second class. If you are an experienced MMO player, Final Fantasy does adhere to the model of tanks, DPSs, and healers when you're running dungeons and raids. So there is a very good reason for you to pick up a tank spec, pick up a healer spec at a minimum, or get them all. There are multiple achievements for leveling up all of the different classes. And many of these classes you can pick up just as your starting character. So you can pick up Gladiator and Marauder at level 10. You can pick up Conjurer at level 10. You can pick up Pugilist, Lancer. You do need to be level 10 and in Limsa to get Rogue, or level 15 and be far enough in the main quest to get the airships to get to Limsa to pick up Rogue. You can pick up Archer, Thaumaturge, Arcanist, all at the beginning levels. All the rest of these come along later. You get like Red Mage, you pick up at level 50. Samurai, you pick up at level 50. And then there's some of the classes like Dark Knight. You pick that up, or you can pick that up when you finish the first expansion, and then the second expansion you get to Foundation. So there are different requirements, but we're just going to cover the basics of how you do this. So we're going to pick up Lancer here. We're going to do 1 damage class, and then we're going to go pick up a profession. So, first of all, you go to where the guild is, and you talk to the receptionist, and she will have one of these blue markers that basically says this is an opening something quest. Welcome to the Lancers Guild. If you seek to refine your skills with a polearm, then you come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, now they always give some kind of backstory. I'm going to just kind of run through very well. I should provide you an insight into the history of the guild. You can read that at your own on your own time. So you go through the history, you talk to her again, you say yes, I want to join, accept. Okay. So now you go talk to the guildmaster. And there'll be some more discussion. Again, I'll let you read this on your own. Yes, I want to be a Lancer. Okay. So, we finished the quest to unlock Lancer. It says you have unlocked a new class. You can change the class at any time by equipping the weapon achieved from the quest. When changing classes, gear sets will allow you to register and save your equipment. You may then use them to switch between classes instantly without the need to manually equip weapons or equipment. A button for the gear set interface is located in the upper portion of your character window. Okay. And then, of course, they give you the information on how to change classes, which I am going to show you. So, what changes a class in Final Fantasy? The class is tied to the weapon at level 30 and below. And then once you get the upgraded versions, or they call them jobs, then you need the weapon and the soul crystal. Right now we don't have soul crystals. So, when you equip a different weapon, it's going to change the class. Now, any of your bars down here that are attached to your class are going to change. You may be able to set bars that are shared. So before I do this, let's see. Item settings, UI settings. See if I can find it. Hotbar settings. Here we go. Okay. Hotbar settings, and then sharing. So if you go under this, this is for the standard keyboard and mouse. This is for if you're using a controller. So when it says shared hotbar, what it means is that the bar, so like this bar here, is shared between the different classes. So this bar will always be the same. But 1, 2, and 3, which are these bars here, you'll notice are not shared. So these will be specific to the class. So you can see my setup. I have unshared for 1 through 4 and 8. I don't remember this one. This is 8, I think, or maybe that's 8. Anyway, you'll see it when I switch. So let's do that. Let's put on the Weathered Spear. Okay. This is just telling you get a bonus when you're fighting as not your main class. So this is just, if you're level 1 and you've got a class that's level 30, you get a XP bonus. All right, so first problem. We don't have any more gear. So this button becomes important. Recommended gear. This is the easiest way to gear up. This will go through your gear inventory, which is Control I, your armory chest. And this will put on anything that it can find. It will find the best pieces of gear, which it's just going to find your level 1 gear. I'm going to hit equip. Okay. So now we're wearing our Lancer gear, and you notice this area changed. For my buttons, this area changed, and this area did not. So the next thing you need to do is hit the gear set list button. And then you want to create a new gear set list. This is going to tie the gear that you're wearing to that class. So let's hit create. Now, the best thing to do is click and drag this down to a bar that does not change. So let's click, drag it down here. So that's Lancer, okay? So now let's say we want to be able to switch between Lancer and Bard. So let's go back to Bard or Archer and pick up our bow. Now when we drop our bow on, it's going to switch me back, but notice it won't switch my gear. Okay. So now we need to do the recommended gear thing again, and it's going to put on the best gear that it's got in my bags. All right. Now, the gear set it's currently set to is Lancer. We do not want to update that. We want a new set tied to Archer. So now let's drag that button down here to my bars. Okay. So now anytime that you change your gear and you want to save it, you hit this update button and that will save it. So now, in order to switch classes, I just come down here and I click the Lancer button. It will switch my bars and it will switch all my gear. There we go. So now, and you can see that now when I switch back to Lancer, he's got my level 1 quest. So we're not going to pick that up right now. We'll worry about that later. But let's go get a gathering profession, just so we can show kind of the full gamut of this. Let's go over to the Botanist Guild. And this is going to be a similar thing. You're going to come in, you're going to talk to the receptionist. They're going to want to chit-chat with you for a bit. And I said, just run, you can run through this and read this on your own time. And blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you all the backstory. Then you talk to them again. They say, do you want to join? You say yes. And then go talk to the guildmaster. We're going to come out here and talk to the guildmaster. And then she will give me a botanist hatchet. And we now have a gathering log. Alright. So, same process. First things first. Let us put on the hatchet. Okay, this is just telling you some of the role actions that you can. There are actions that all of the different gathering professions can use. All right, so you'll notice it took my earring off because that XP earring only works on fighting classes. So now we have the same thing. Our gear set that's selected is the Lancer, so we don't want to update that. We want a new gear set. So you come up here and hit New, and now it's going to set it to Botanist. So if we drag Botanist down here, just put that there for now. So now, and you'll notice, our bars changed, and as we get different abilities, we can, put them on our bar here. And now we can switch between all three. We can switch between Botanist, we can switch to Archer, and it re-equips everything, including our earrings that we were wearing before. If we switch to Lancer, it switches out our gear to the Lancer gear. And like I said, every time you update your gear, you come out here and hit this update button to save it as your new gear set. Now later, one thing you can do, once you get the ability to like transmog your gear or glamour your gear, as they call it in Final Fantasy, you can tie the gear set to a specific look. So that if you have gear, but let's say you have it dyed or you have it, transformed to look like something else, it will automatically retransform your gear to make sure that the look is the same as you saved it. And what will happen is if you right click, you'll get an option to save your gear set to a specific plate that's giving you the look. Now we don't have that option right now because we are not high enough level to have the ability to transform our gear, but you'll get that later. But there you go. That is how you get multiple classes. And like I said, you can go through, if you look, this is what they call Disciple of War, which is all of the martial classes and your physical range DPS, and Disciple of Magic, which is your healers and your magic classes. And then this is Disciples of the Hand, which is all of your professions, and Disciples of the Land, which is your gathering. So really, like I said, there's no reason. You can probably go pick all of these up and not have it be too big of a deal. The only issue that you can run into, really, in picking up everything is if you don't do a good job managing your gear, you can run out of space. So I'll bring up the armory chest, and something like rings, because you're wearing 2 rings on your hands for each profession, you can run out of space in rings if you have every single profession in the game. But with a little bit of management, you can make this work, because you can use gear for multiple classes as long as those classes have similar requirements. All right. Well, I hope that gives you a good explanation of how to open up secondary classes and professions. So please get an opportunity. Do the things, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. If you have any comments or anything that you would like to see me make a guide video on, please leave it in the comments and I will see what I can do. Otherwise, have a great day.